So you're not going to just come run out here and measure my yard and tell me all there is to know about fence.
No, I'm going to try to provide as much education to where I don't have to come out and tell you everything about fence. I want to give you the tools to understand what we're talking about so you can make an informed decision. Welcome back, everybody. Joe Everest, the fence expert. Hey, one of the most common pieces of feedback we get about the Saturday morning live Ask the Expert segment is those things are long, and they're not wrong. They last about 3 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours. Sometimes, a few weeks ago, Caleb and I got into a pretty good discussion about marketing. I think it lasted closer to 4 hours. Nobody's got time to sit through 4 hours of listening to a couple experts talk. I get it. So Jeremy's created a new segment just for you guys called Hot Takes. It's usually a shorter segment of the longer conversation, basically hitting the hot topics, if you will, of that live segment. So without further ado, here comes this week's Hot Take. Yeah, so 2 years exclusively without on-site. So we've been using My Salesman as a mandatory first step for the last 2 years. Before that, we had it as more of a like an accessory, right? Like I said, if you had extra time, you could go on the website and play around. But the last 2 years, it's been mandatory first step. So in the beginning, it was hard for people to wrap their brains around.
So you're not going to just come run out here and measure my yard and tell me all there is to know about fence.
No, I'm going to try to provide as much education to where I don't have to come out and tell you everything about fence. I want to give you the tools to understand what we're talking about so you can make an informed decision. Because I can tell you the sky's green, and if I make a really compelling case, sky's still blue. How about I give you the information to make your own decisions? We do that. We do a lot of education. And then, the My Salesman is the mandatory first step. Post-pandemic, or during pandemic and post-pandemic, it's a little bit easier part of the conversation. I mean, it is part of our social responsibility plan. So this is us being socially responsible and issuing the tool so that we're not, I mean, Sarah can tell you better than I can, but we were seeing 4, 5, 6 people a day, 4 or 5 days a week, week after week after week. What happens in a pandemic spreading type situation when you're seeing that many people? I mean, you could take as many safety steps as you want. When you're meeting that many people that repetitively, there's bound to be an incident or an accident, right? So this is part of our social responsibility plan, and it just works. It's accurate. Anyway, Sarah with the numbers. 98.7 totally love that they don't have to run home over lunch to meet someone or lots of someone's if it's getting multiple bits. Big fan of making life easier for our customers. I like the fact. Now, it's a made-up number, but I like the fact that Sarah led with figures. We're big on leading with information. 98.7. Now, let's talk about the 1.3% in this made-up number. 1.3% of people will not like it. They won't enjoy it. They will not do it. They expect someone to come out, put on a show, and teach them all about fence. They're just not the right clients for us. We're okay with that because there are people here in town that will go out and do on-site consultations, and we will give them their information. We will give the customer the potential, whoever's calling in, we will give them these contractors' information. They're not the ideal client for us, and here's why. This is a process, right? Our whole business runs on processes, or it should. This is the first process. This is a sale. Well, arguably, this is a second. The first process is the marketing process that got the phone to ring. This is a sales process. After the sales process comes the scheduling process. It comes the contract and the deposit process. And then the scheduling process, then the installation, and then the accounts receivable, the billing, us getting our final payment. It's all processes. So what are the chances that someone out there that doesn't like this process isn't going to like the rest of the processes, or they're going to want to try to control it? So that's typically, in this completely made up number, that 1.3% of the people are the people that want to try to control the process. They want to drive the bus. They do not want to ride on the bus. What are the chances they're going to try to dictate how the rest of your processes work? Probably pretty good. They're going to tell you that they don't do deposits, or you're going to sign their contract, or they're going to tell you when the best time to schedule a project is. They're also going to tell your guys and gals the best way to build this fence. And then when it comes time to bill them, they're going to tell you what payment terms that they will be paying on. I think that's a pretty good chance. If they're wanting to drive the bus in the beginning, they're going to drive the bus throughout the whole process. And that just doesn't work for us. The process we have in place is a process that works for us. And like we discussed earlier, that's the word. Everyone has their own process, right? We will gladly give them the information of other fencing contractors in our area that still do on-site appointments. They'd probably be a better fit for them. But 98.7% of the time in this made up number, they enjoy it, right? Because it's us investing in a tool that saves them time and gives them information without having a salesman or saleswoman sitting in their living room expecting them to make a decision. So this is you gathering information on your time, making a decision that's best for you and your fencing requirements. This is not even low pressure. This is no pressure. You do it on your time. And you only get in touch with me if you really want to talk to me. All right, guys, that concludes this week's hot take. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you like the format? Do you not like the format? Let me know in the comments below. We're still figuring this out, and we could use your help. But for now, I'm Joe Everest, the fence expert, reminding you that good fences make good neighbors. And I'll see you next time.